Morning. Welcome to the Daily Shlog number 5. It is a gym day. It is cold. I have a giant puffy jacket on. And yeah, gonna go work out a little bit and then go in and get after it. Maybe put a piston big bore kit in at 85 today. So stick with us. Oh, we're at the shop. A little bit late today because I was working on another video. But the first thing we do at the shop these days is take that dog out and exercise her a little bit. Check this out. Here we go. Get that Dipper! Dipper, Leah! Good girl! Good girl! All right, good girl, come! Good girl, come! Good girl! Oh. Good girl! It's pretty fun to watch. Keeps her from freaking out all day. I do this like 4 times a day. See you in a bit. We're in the shop now, finally, after exercising the dog for a little bit, and I can't avoid it no longer. It's time to work on the Virago. Figured it out. The problem was that the needles and seats that I put in it the last time we worked on it were leaking, and I'm not really 100% sure, but it almost looked like the brass was flaking off or something. I don't know. I can't tell for sure. It just looked weird inside there. So anyway, we're putting new ones in it. I got OEM ones, so the last ones are aftermarket, trying to save the customer a little bit of money. But that didn't work. A lot of times that's how it is. You try to save some money on parts, and a lot of times it just does not work out. I would say 9 times out of 10 with carburetors, you can kind of get away with using some aftermarket kits and things like that and really have a great product, and things work really well. But this time it didn't work. So I'm going to put new needles and seats in it. I'm honestly not going to bore you guys with this. But stick with us for the video, because I'm going to be doing the big bore on the 85, making it a 105 today. And I'm going to be doing the power valve in this and cleaning it, sandblasting it, and putting it all back together. That's a 19300XC. So if you want to see that, stick with us. Got the Virago back together. I'm letting the battery charge up so we'll see if it runs better. Hopefully it does. But while that's happening, let's look at this. Ding! A cylinder from a 300XC. It's a 2019. Customer's doing his own top end, which is awesome. But he doesn't trust himself to take apart and put back together the power valve, which is kind of funny because it's pretty easy. But I get it, because you need to know a few things about it. And the other thing is, I have a bead blaster. He wants me to bead blast the parts and make them nice and shiny. He doesn't have that. So really it just makes sense to bring me the whole thing. I'll take it apart, put it back, good to go. So let's take the thing apart. I'm going to put the camera up and let you watch that, but I'm not going to talk about it too much as we come apart. And then we'll look at how they look right now. We'll bead blast them, put them back in. You're good to go. See, pretty carboned up. It's got 90 hours on the bike, so it looks about normal, honestly, unless you're just hard on the gas all the time. It's going to have some buildup. So, take the rest of this part apart. I take it back. This is an 18XC, because I just realized it doesn't have the bolt here to adjust the opening on the power valve, so I was wrong. I should have known that anyway, because now I remember it was an 18, but anyway. So this is an 18. The 19s have an adjuster that goes in here. You can set the height of the power valve from the outside. Time for these little bolts. These guys can be a real nightmare to get out. They're what hold these side flappers in, or whatever you want to call those things. I call them, anyway, whatever. They hold those things in. It's like a retainer. Anyway, they can be a real nightmare to get out, and if you're not careful, you can strip them really easy. So I use what I like to call the blue wrench. Warm them up a little bit because they got Loctite on them. There we go. There's the flapper for the power valve. Take a good look at it. We're going to make that thing look a lot nicer than that. All right. Got them out of the ultrasonic bath, and they're looking already a lot better. So I'm going to take these over to the bead blaster, clean them all up, make them look like brand spanking new, and then we'll reinstall it. All right. Got our super duper clean. Got the flange nice and clean. The important parts all nice and shiny. Got the flapper really nice and clean. So now it's time to put this thing back together. So he got these gaskets from Tusk. I just want to say something. Hold on. I hate this kind of packaging for gaskets because look, it's like vacuum sealed in there. And I know it's got the little slits and all that, whatever. But like, if you even attempt to do that with a knife, which would be the fastest, easiest way to do it, you're going to cut gaskets. It's like, anyway. Yeah. Sorry, little tiny rant, but yeah, don't like that. I'm going to start with this. I've got to get new O-rings on there. A little bit of this grease. Drop her down in. Check it like that. And nice. Works good. There we go. Now, put our bolts back in. Okay. Check the power valve flapper, still moving nice and good. Nice and easy. Perfect. Now, it's time to put the side pieces in. Now, take our keeper. We're going to reinstall the bolts with some Loctite. Alright, now for the other side. Now is when the sides are a little bit different. So this actuator obviously looks a little bit different. It's because it's set up to work with this part that actually hooks to the actuator that comes out of the transmission. So this thing goes on just like the other one. See it? This part goes in, and this spring, you got to check and make sure you get this right. But see, when I took it apart, I didn't disassemble it, so I know that the spring is correct. But if you look at it, the long arm of the spring goes into a groove that's right there. So that goes there. Then we're going to take this, slide it over, and we're going to start. Okay, we're going to stop. And this part of the spring has to come up and over to that side. So you can either do it with your hands or a pair of pliers. You want to do it before you get the bolt tooth cutter on there. There we go. So now it's on there. Now I'm going to run this in. And it's really important that there's a collar. This aluminum piece right here is a collar, and that collar needs to go inside the spring. They don't want it to pinch the spring. So you got to, as you tighten it down, just keep an eye on it and look at it. Usually it just goes into place, but not always. So just make sure you get that. I'm going to run that down. There we go. That's good. Now we're going to make sure it moves, and it's going to be a little tight before it runs, right? But it is moving good. And that's because the two-stroke oil and all that stuff will get everywhere and lube this up even better than it is and make this move better. But it is moving good, so now I'm happy with that. Cylinder's all ready to rock and roll. So call the customer, let them know you can come pick it up, and yeah, he can get his bike running here real soon. The Virago runs. It's right over there. Right, it's right there. It runs. It's actually good to go. So I'm psyched about that. But now I'm really excited about this. It's an 85 SX, and we're turning it into a 105. So here we go. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Gonna take that, put it on that. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so we got the top end off, got the piston out, got to take that gasket off and do all, clean this up and get it ready to go. But check this out. This is like the I don't know, this is silly, but it's my favorite thing to look at the difference between the 85 piston and the 105 piston. It's pretty awesome. Obviously 85, 105. It's cool when you can actually see a big difference. Also, look how adorable they are compared to my hand. Little pistons are awesome. So, yep, gonna get that all cleaned up. And then we're gonna start put it back together. Alright, so we got our new kit. Comes with everything, which is super duper cool. I unpacked it in the last Shlog. It even comes with jets and a needle, everything. So super cool thing. Really, really stoked on the way that KTM does all this. Quick thing, everybody always asks whether you should use aftermarket, OEM pistons, all that stuff. And I always respond that at least on 2-strokes, KTM pistons are Vertex pistons, so there's no reason to buy OEM KTM. And right there, you can see it says Vertex above that black mark. So that is a KTM piston. It's a Vertex piston, so there you go. Official. There we go. This thing is cool. And let me just for a second, can we talk about how pretty machined things are? Is that weird? Because seriously, look at that. Oh my gosh. There's just something about looking at beautifully machined parts. So, right. Even comes with another power valve cover because this is a little bit different shaped. The other cylinder had covers on both sides. This one just has one. Come in here. Thank you so much for joining me for the daily Shlog. Finishing up today, we're all done. Stick with us for tomorrow and make sure you subscribe because we'll be working on this free ride. We'll be putting this new hydraulic ox brake on there. I have yet to do that, so it should be interesting. I'll be learning right along with you guys. I've done the other ox brake, with the cable, and I put the Recluse left-hand brakes on there. But I hear this is really good, so we're going to be doing that, putting mousses and tires on this thing, and new pistons for one of the calipers. I think it's for the formula caliper on it because it's a formula caliper. So anyway, thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you guys have a great day. I hope you get out, spread the gospel of two wheels, and please find some time to ride your dirt bikes.